Royale. But now you can't get a Victory Royale style if you get taken out on your drop spot, as we now see Hen getting knocked out. Now it's up to Chapix. Chapix is a very deadly fighter, and Chapix can be able to do this, but it may be just a numbers game taking out Chapix here, as he's now going to retreat back into Fish Sticks restaurant, try to pick up as many slurp rails as possible, and he is dipping. That man is turned into a fish. He's going to try to get away and get as much resources, but they're not going to let him go. Looks like Hi Chris now out here fishing. 3 builds left. It's a matter of moments. All you got to do is get the connections, get the tags.
Nada que decir, ¿no?
32.
Pero ¿por qué se me la veía tanto? Ni idea.
Finally, a now goes in actually 3-0 advantage. Now it's 3-1. Map is hard.
There's a lot to go through.
A lot.
I mean, these guys got absolutely eviscerated.
Hola a todos los que se meten.
Rotate of, what was it? Reason
Estamos en vivo viendo el FNCS Final.
fighting inside the house. We were tuning in mid-game and getting the early perspective of Weeping going on here, at least for Nikov's squad. Average inside an end game, it feels like save.
Yeah, that's one of those trios that made that through a completely different soft spot really well. They had a solid run, but it's just you're not familiar with it. You haven't been practicing. I like Save's trio so far.
Game 2, and the most recent game they didn't make it all the way to end game. They got to play a little bit, but that was a little bit of a crazy zone. It was difficult to handle.
And they kind of talk about as well, I mean, that team in Pleasant, they've always says what you typically do is you go up north to Stealthy Stronghold to get some tags, but Bebs' trio, Nebs and all them, they're not easy to take out. They're so far putting up a great defense against that rotation.
Right now, Mappy's team, you just saw them a little bit of the flex drop. There's that gas station Cammy split.
Yep.
Tight beat. They're rolling in at 3rd place after that last game, 13th. Oh no, 3rd overall, mind me. 6 elims. They've been getting progressively better. Started off the day with a 2nd place, and now are looking real good. Go back to Clement, Floki to Siptos. Odd load up. From what I'm seeing, this has to be the game. Could also be the zones that are affecting them at Pleasant Park. They have to move through so many different trios. We've been down at Caddy Lazy twice now. It's difficult.
One of the trios that we have yet to really talk about, but have been kind of flying underneath the radar, is on the bottom right of your screen. Tus's trio alongside with Kirachi. You know, they've been doing really well. They've been having the same kind of free rotations as if you kind of like take a ruler and go all the way diagonal. That's the same as Andretta. So all these trios right here being uncontested, but their rotation is also clean. So I'm thinking, what a great performance for Kirachi, Stormy, and Tus. They did really well in their qualifying, coming into 4th place here. I think with what their game plan has so far hasn't been disrupted. They've been doing everything to their playbook and executed very well.
When you go back and look at the top 3 performance out of the 12 games, these first 4 that I'm looking at from Stormy, Tus, and Kiriachi definitely fit that flow. 5th, 4th, 7th. We're gonna have elims in every game. 8 in the second one. Most recent one, game number 4 that they played, yeah, kind of missed the mark. Didn't get any elims. They went down a little bit earlier as well. Looks like surge issues possibly. But while this is all happening, maybe this is why.
Yeah.
Loki the Siptos are having trouble.
Maybe.
Looking at the way Reason would deal Noah Riley, they're just free-flowing across the entire map, and Pleasant might be on their sights for more than just one game.
Yeah, and this team right here has finished 25th, 17, and 26, and only getting 1 elim. 1 elim from this solid trio who've been doing really well in this season so far. Oh, you're right, man. Vidil trio has just been having the free opportunity. Vidil trio is playing as if they're landing at Sweaty Sands. So that trio, anywhere they land, they're going to go ahead and see what they can do. And if they get a couple of tags, they're going all in. And look how strong they are. I wondered what kind of weapons they would have walking out of Boney Burbs, and look at it. Such a solid one right now. And I don't think Floki wants this fight. They're not going to do anything right now. And look how much Noah Riley is just walking up into this house. Like, no beams are coming his way. They don't want this fight, child. They don't want.
They have to take it regardless. That was the perfect time to go for a three-way beam, but no one even peeks. Now Noah Riley is going to pick this apart. A hot knife through butter all the way to the bottom of these builds, but he doesn't even want to break it down. Going all the way up, close to... This man is not only looking to win the fight, but looking to toss some disrespect in the setup. That Floki Clement have reason just walks all the way up, and these guys look scared. I'm not sure what it is, but the classic Noah Vidal pinch about to happen while Reason makes sure Siptos doesn't go through. Now he drops down and participates as well. I mean, what is this? I've never seen Floki Clement and Siptos be on the defensive so bad.
Great fighters. Decepto has been on a hot streak this season. Been really solid solo with a lot of solo clutches. He is no slouch in himself right here, but when you're in the target on the ice, you just become a pub fodder, essentially, man. This is what you become.
I mean, we keep saying that Pleasant's uncontested, but I guess that's like kind of wrong, right? If this is going to be happening every single game, you're definitely going to be he's looking to fight and looking for that upgrade station around the same time that you are as well. So definitely some issues in the early game that Deceptos has to kind of get over, all inside the same house. No fireflies. Just, yeah, there's the gas canister I was waiting. And now they're basically on a timer in this house. Gonna have to move through. It'll take a while though, so let's check in with Guild Gamma Trio, Thomas HD, and Nos Flick. Oh no, that's what I'm talking about. When you have position, go for the punish. Lose that shield. Fasroki, Ardent Pizza looking for revenge. This trio got usurped, I believe, in the last game by Thomas Flick and Anas. They were rolling through all the way on height, or it might have been 2 games ago. They went for big shots, and now they set up a trap to kind of be the same as Flick. It's even both ways through. Fasroki, the healthiest of this trio, all the way on height. It's gonna be a rough and very dirty fight. It's isolated though. No one can really interrupt Sancho. They're gonna see this feud through.
Dead side rotations. That was a great position from Fasroki coming out of Lazy Lake, going to their Storm Surge location there to look for anyone doing a dead side, and that's Thomas H. and Nas and Flick, always doing dead side rotations. They're coming from dirty. They're running into a roadblock in Podosai. I mean, I don't know, must have changed their drop spot. Now Podosai was usually landing Southeast Stronghold. We see Podosai all the way on this side of the map. Now we're going to our #1 team sitting really solid right at 14 points. Not a big lead, not comfortable just yet, considering this is only day 1. But right now, some lobby focus coming through. And that's what's always dangerous of making these car rotations, is you're going to make a lot of noise and eventually someone's going to stop you dead in your tracks. But I think Andretta Savage and Revscard, who've been doing really well, parting comfortably, getting tags on some third-party fights. And I remember when I was watching Zate's stream one day, and Zate was talking about great teams play Storm Surge positions. They're not about looking for elims. They set them up to where the beams, and that's what Savage's trio has been doing so well today.
You said they were looking really solid. I like that, but also want to challenge it in terms of the solid being glass. Right now, with their position to 115 from Hen, Genis, and Chapix right behind them, it's a lead, but it can definitely be caught up on. And that trio of Hen, Genis, and Chapix have been taken out, right, in the early game. So it definitely is a chance now to turn that glass into, you know, rock hard stone. The thing is, though, if they slip up this game, everyone can still catch. It's 2-day type of format. You want first place if you're in that position. Be way far ahead of everyone else. Right now, they have a 30-ish point lead on the third place team.
And we saw for a moment there, Blooming's trio sitting all the way on the West Coast. That is circles they have to capitalize in. When the circles come your way, and they're in your backyard, that's your chance to do well. The only thing you have to overcome is Storm Surge tags, because, you know, teams are not going to get there yet. You're not going to have an opportunity to pick on people. Trio on the right side, they've been shooting shots their way, doing all they can to get a 20-30 tag here, and that's Gemside Dementos coming from Misty Meadows. So those are the rotation periods that coming from Weeping Weddles here, going against Queasy. The Weeping Wood trio right now in danger, and Queasy and Jerksy, they're like, you know what? We're not gonna fight you, bro. We want height.
Right now, it's kind of just bluffs back and forth between all teams. Still, though, you know, Jerky, Trulex, I mean, I just don't feel like they've had a good enough bite out of all the placement points in the Elim so far. Rocking in 7th place, sometimes in top 10, off of high ground positions, off of positions to win the game. I'm not even saying that they've choked, but they've been in so many different trios from game 1 all the way to game 4. And, you know, past that too, I think in game 5, this is where they really need to lock it in and have a good game.
That's the kind of thing you deal with, Matt. And once you get taken off, you get kicked off that pedestal, you're basically instantly in shambles. And any team that's been sitting at mid-ground will look really solid.
And yeah, it's kind of coming in slow for Flick, Thomas, and Anas. You can see the stat on the left side of your screen. Historically speaking, they have slow starts. This is the fastest we've seen so far, even losing this fight. Flick going down. They shouldn't be too shaken up. Rolling in on the 2-day format. Pizza traded. I mean, guys, the zone's gone away. There's a 4-day. Still locking in, and they're making sure this feud goes the whole way.
And now the distance is Podosai. I have to wonder what Podosai is doing, but he's still a lone survivor as Thomas HG gonna have to dip into the meat. A new addition into this primal season. These eliminations to get as much heals as possible, because after this he has a long trek here. Now down to only 7 builds, armed with a purple pump. All it takes is one big shot. No! Critical shot denied. Fazroki moves on through.
What is Podosai doing?
That's what I'm saying, dude!
He rolls into the fight. I'm like, yo, cool angle. I guess you were like dodging on an Elim. Was he running away from Wolfies, maybe?
I don't know,
I'm not
dude.
even. What is Wolfies doing running into the storm?
I don't know.
Either way, this is
so strange.
Strange for sure. And he got pumped hard too. So, you know, Fazroki eating even better from the situation. They get 3 Elims, wrap up a Wolfies is now waiting. What happened on this side of the map? 4 different trios losing teammates, running in the storm. It feels like I'm watching an old version of NA West.
Yeah, and then Podosai, who has been landing. Stranger things do happen here in the competitive play for FNCS, but what's not strange is Trulex and Jerky and Queasy vying for height. Now we're taking a look here. Jules is all the way on the coastline. It's a very dangerous position to air that zone. I've never seen an in-game go towards those little islands. I have never seen anything like that. It could happen here today. I would not put it past the zone, but now we see Reason down at the skateboard here. A prehistoric foe, and that is a raptor, and I think Wolfies is in trouble.
Okay, I'm dubbing that the favorite portion of my map. I'm not sure what's going on in this 5th game. Having some fun. Wolfie's looking for that last Elim 2 solo player.
Spooky.
Hey, at least give the raptor a name for the feed, right? That's 2 Elims in the European FNCS so far that they've had. That could be a big one too for Wolfies, right? This man is somewhat close towards that top spot. Actually having a much more rougher day now that I look back at it, but
I could see the social media posts from Wolfies talking about the raptor, but you know,
no, it's not even that, man. It's just he was already in a position where
he was already in shambles.
Reason as well. Once again, the pattern continues of these guys having such good starts to tournaments, and then after that, getting so confident in mid-game and end-game fights that they bite off a little bit more than they can chew. Another end-game that for the rest of the lobby, they get to be a little bit more calm. But man, how many times can they take this hit before, you know, it gets out of the top 5?
It's called fool's gold, child. You hit a little gold, get a little taste of the glory, and you think, yo, this is our day. But when it comes to FNCS, they have a little bit, an hour of the day, maybe. You just gotta hold on to those moments as much as possible and let them go so you can not. Everybody that's kind of set in 4th position here for this in-game, and right now the leader of the pack, Andretta, Mr. Savage, and Revscard looking to be good If Zone pulls their way, look at that. Look at the mini-map. They have so many options, as you see right in front of Indretta's POV, to take tags at anybody making their way.
The lobby in points, Trulex, Squeezy, and Jerky are really trying to lead this lobby on high ground. Unfortunately, don't pull a version of Zone that they can even work off of. There's another base already built, but I feel like Red Rush has height. Way up top. Once again, the Brave and the Bold all the way up top are looking to have another shot at controlling a game, but it was so tricky when that half and half came in. You know, it doesn't matter where your height position is. If you don't get it, you'll have to move.
Move is Indretta as much as possible. They're a little bit, literally, dude, that couple of meters, because we're EU casting, that couple of meters is just in that so many boxes right there that they're just ahead of this like congestion that you're seeing, and that is what's been putting them in those great positions. Let's see where this is. In about 45 seconds, Zone 5 will be revealed here. I have no choice. They're kind of going into the south side of this turnstile, and it's about to get very spicy here in a second if Zone 5 pushes out of their way.
Even 50 damage above Surge, and they had high ground for such a long time in one of the zones. So missed a few shots here and there. Don't have as much inventory or opportunity, but Mappy, Red Rush, Exterios, they're there.
Oh my.
Shot rolling in from all three players to wipe out a team. That was beautiful.
Wow, Stereo, whew, that was really solid. That was kind of calculated how they were able to do that. And vital, because Storm Surge, now they're 226 above. Let's see where Zone 5 goes. Let's see. I'm kind of seeing where everybody's rotating through. And right now, no one's really making movements right now. And there it is. The zone has been revealed.
It's right beside what that Storm Surge rolling in. Looks like they might just be the only ones inside, but have to take shots. Stompy goes down. Refscar, Savage, and Indretta will have to slightly move, but aren't too far away. They can bar so many trios coming in. Still 52 players for the Surge to stop. Savage doesn't care about the lightning through the skies. There it is. Another big strike on the Shadow. This is the trio that's in trouble. They land one more shot. They have a chance for Stompy to survive, but Joe's gonna get picked up as well. Our ammo, not sure what more they can do from their spot above them. Exterios, Mappy, they move over. Boom, Percival, Tomsy had height. They have to now operate off of low ground to take another big spot. Shadow's still down. The revive taking a long time. No, he got picked up. Stompy got sniped down. Surge taken out once again on the backside. Trulex, though, yes, they have height. Jules and Sun, again, are up to the stars with Zeku. They're also contesting and saying, we want control of this game. Trulex has another opponent. Please strike down.
4ZR's trio right now on the low ground, right next door to Savage's. No doubt Savage is not on that same layer, understanding that there is a dangerous trio on it. Now Zone 5 is about to close here, and we're already seeing Jules and Jerky here going to through as Ovation's Knight gets taken down. The great defense, the height awareness right now, that may be enough for them to hold on, but Jerky sees all this going on across the way, and Jules' son and Zico, they have to give it up. They have to give it up, and it goes. Okay that they lost height because they have to move, but Trulex, Squeezy, and Jerky right now have to make some decisions.
That was the 7th and 8th place team having two different bases battling for height. As they look up and down below on land, the soldiers all the way on two different fronts. Savage and Refsguard are down. It's up to Indretta to clutch this out on his lonesome. Unfortunate for him to have a few eliminations to make this a game that's actually worthwhile. He could clutch here, but man, only 100 effect. Extra heals available in the inventory either. This is trouble.
6 builds and armed with a green pump. Oh my goodness, sneaks in some shots here. Now working on the bottom side, looking to trip up the trio right above here. Big time. That's going to be enough for that Siphon. That kind of answers that question there. How they get the heals here, so now he's picking his way through metal.
He's not going to get the full Elan for the moment. It's put him ahead of Surge, so he has a chance to survive. There's the full finish. It comes in at the perfect time. The Siphon putting him back up to 55 HPs on the backside of Zone 5. finds a breath of fresh air, dropped down back into the builds. He saw glory, freedom for a second, but is imprisoned once again by bullets from Savin on the side. Unfortunate for him all the way on the zone side of this game. Sun taken out on the back. Definitely light shining for them on height. They have no one to interrupt them for the moment. This could be their game to break into the top 5.
They are very close, though, to the mass that is right below them. I asked what were they going to do. They have decisions to make. I should have known that they're going to stay on height and expend as many materials as possible. There is a team rotating right in front of them on the right side here. Nations here are only 101 points. They have to get something Lehman's to move up the leaderboard, considering they're in 7th place here. An opportunity to get that victory royale is right here. They could seize the moment here. Highcrest getting bullied right there on the backside of the storm. Screwy, Expert right now making their way through. Trulix and Queasy and Jerky to see x-rays, so they're not be able to see. They're just kind of using their experience to understand where people come through. Mappy, even second from height, gets taken. Actually, he knocks Kaiser, so Mappy almost had an opportunity to take it, but now he has some dealing with on the other side underneath him to deal with. 4ZR, a solo here with Tayson and Nate are all watching 4ZR to see if he can clutch as zone goes south.
Started top 10. He's also looking to go towards the top 5 slot and go in the last game of the tournament after this one with a very, very sizable gap between everyone between him and below. As the Synthos gets a few available on the downside. Trulix, Squeezy, and Jerky, I feel like are the last trio who are still surviving. Mappy put in the blender, completely taken out on low ground. Sapphik is all the way on the front side, but Queasy and Trulix are not stopping the pressure. 4ZR as a solo Jerky, but he doesn't get to be seen just yet. A reverse ramp edit makes enough space for him to drop down and reposition. That's glorious. Look at the edits and the builds coming through. He finds another layer where he's uninterrupted. No one's on it. Somehow he has so much freedom to just chill. Let the placement roll through, but he'll have to act towards the end.
In a mid kit, if he wants to make a storm play, it is an option for him. As we're seeing Jerky getting a knock on Iris here, the high team is trying to close out any hope to make sure that low ground doesn't steal away the victory royale. This is right in their hands right now. Formy's head right now. Trulix has to be satisfied. That is Queasy. Knocks Siberia, confirms Siberia. Here it is, a top 3 situation. The beams go through, and in a blink of an eye, Queasy, Jerky, and Trulix get the victory royale. I thought that was going to be a drawn-out fight, but a couple of beams going everybody's way, and Trulix gets the victory. Elims matter a lot in a 12-game set.
That's the second time in that game. We also saw one edit and moment come through with multiple shots that got, ended the fight or the game. That game, though, it was a top 10. We'll throw it over to Zeke, Levin, and Reese to see exactly how the leaderboard looks.
Thank you guys so much. And as always, you guys are killing it, or eliminating it on the broadcast. Wow. So I feel like we've been seeing Queasy, Trulix, Jerky. They've been on the high ground for like almost all of these games. I think there's only been one game they've not had high ground. But finally, they're allowed to execute and close out. And a lot of it was just like controlling what was kind of going on, right? I love them being able to kind of put on their display their prowess in Fortnite. And that's what they need to do, right? As long as they can actually transition and they could very well pick up another victory royale.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been in the position to do it many games, and they've picked up a 2nd and an 8th. We've just not managed to clutch all the way to that victory royale until this moment. And to be honest with you, when I was looking at this here, I was thinking, man, there's so many good low ground teams. The low ground's going to be an absolute battle because there we have like 6 or 7 teams who are super dominant. There are a lot of teams right now just playing pure high ground. We have obviously Queasy's team, and one of the teams that obviously we mentioned earlier, Zico's team. They've been always in that 5th zone, really high. Battle between these teams who are consistently looking for high ground over and over and over again. And can Queasy's team keep pulling this off? Seems like they're being pretty consistent with it so far.
Yeah, their 5th zone positioning has been phenomenal. To high ground in almost every single game you play is insane, right? There's clear. We know this from them. We know that this is what they're going to do. We know they're going to have these games where they will eventually just get the victory out because you go for high so many times. Eventually, the lobby is going to have to let you have it, and this was their game. games, right? That's the big question. I think you look at their match history in other competitions, all the time you see a lot more consistency in terms of maybe, you know, a couple fifths, sixths, fourths, those kind of things. Can they sort of get to that now? I think that victory out pushes them forward and maybe to continue to have these kind of good games.
That's all you need, right? On your game plan, and that will help you make or break those moments. But boys, we're seeing a lot of shakeups coming into the leaderboard after game number 5, and specifically what happens meets an immovable object. Talk to me about our last season's trios champions.
Look, Janice, Hen, Chapix, we've seen this fight over and over again, but it has not gone this way for them yet. And if you look at that exactly from High Chris's POV, right? This is they managed to both drop on the same. A slightly better drop from High Chris, he manages to pick up this elimination. If we move over to Hen's POV, you can see him now trying to scout out being on the high ground on the roof, but it doesn't yet again work out for him because fantastic movement and peaks to approach